an absolute legend that some of you may have heard about recently on social media, but he actually kept this pretty quiet until recently. Carl Bushby, a former British paratrooper, now British adventurer, has been walking for the last 27 years around the world. Let me say that again. For the last 27 years, he has been making his way from Chile all the way back to his hometown in Hull by foot. The rules were he cannot use any transport, any mechanical transport. He has had to walk and swim. He's away through the Americas, across Alaska, tried to go through Russia but couldn't, but through Asia, the Middle East, and now he's in Europe on the final stretch home. This is on another level, unprecedented. No one's ever done it before and may never do it again. He has literally been pushing his cart from Chile to Hull. He has made it through Chile, up through South America, into North America, Alaska. He has had to make his way through the Bering Strait. He's the only person to swim across the Caspian Sea.
Found nothing but the best in those 27 years, which has just been remarkable. Our lives are short, and I've always wanted to live it to the fullest that I can.
And now his next issue is getting across the English Channel because he cannot use a ferry. And if they do not allow him to walk through the tunnel, he's going to have to swim across the English Channel after this long journey and then walk his way all the way up to Hull. Bearing in mind, this guy is now 56. He started this when he was 29. He is now 56 years old. He has spent the majority of his life traveling. What an absolute experience.
Through the middle of a war zone, and there's a whole layer above that of cartels and plantations, and then really, really tough jungle. You're in a very serious world that will kill you in 20 minutes if you mess up.
Honestly, so let's have a look at some of what he has done. So he started in 1998 in Chile with the goal of walking back to Hull without using any form of transport. The journey spans approximately 36 miles across 4 continents. He's obviously faced numerous obstacles. He's had to cross the dangerous Darien Gap jungle while there was a war going on. He swam 186 miles across the Caspian Sea and traversing the Bering Strait when it was frozen. Think of the skills he's had to learn and the risks and dangers he's put himself through, and he's made it. By November 2025, so this month, this year, he was finally in Europe, preparing to cross the final stretch. Obviously, he's faced logistical issues. He's had to secure issues of, obviously, visa issues, permissions to make it way through countries, funding issues, especially in the earlier days. Now he's got social media. He can obviously raise money that way. But the only rule was he could not use mechanical transport. He uses a cart that he calls the Beast to carry supplies and relies on support teams and public donations to help fund the expedition. I'm not gonna lie, he's been doing this since 1998, and I only heard about him earlier on this year, I believe it was. No one has heard about this guy. He's just been silently doing something just for himself, because you only live once, as he says, and you want to live that life to the fullest. And he's just been making his way from Chile back to Hull. Absolutely crazy. Carl Bushby's name is. He has a TikTok channel, so you can go and check him out on there. But he is finally coming to the final end of his trek. Really shows you what is possible in this world. People don't even want to walk to the shop nowadays. And he has walked the entire planet. And we know how big planet Earth is. And you can't just take the shortcut, because you're pretty much sticking to land. So he's had to go the long way about. And as you'll see by the map up on the screen, it is extremely far. I think this is absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Like to be able to do this, to be able to push yourself mentally, because there's so many times he could have given up when there was possible logistical issues, visa issues, when you're tired, you're cold, your money runs out, or as he has said, you know, a friend or family member dies back home, he's not going to be there for the funeral. The amount of people he must know that have sadly passed away, he's not been able to say goodbye. You think when he first started this, there wasn't smartphones, there wasn't FaceTime, there wasn't video calls. Mobile phones were just sort of making a presence. Not, you know, barely anyone had one. And if you did, signal wasn't amazing. So you think what he has missed out on in that sense, but you think what he has gained in just pure life experience and memories and the people he would have met and the cultures he would have learned about. This is what life should be about. Not kids on iPads and iPhones and just being stuck indoors. It's about getting out and learning and experience new cultures. Doing just a bit of physical fitness every day. I'm not saying walk 36,000 miles, but get out for a walk to the shop instead of drive. Think, you know what, I need to pick up some milk. I'm actually going to walk there. But an absolute unreal achievement to be so persistent and consistent and mentally resilient to be able to stick this out. You know, to swim 186 miles across the Caspian Sea, all unaided, unsupported, and to be able to continue raising money to be able to keep this up. You know, working along the way, you know, you've got to get supplies, whether that's clothing, food, medical supplies. You know, when the different seasons that you go through and the different environments that you travel through, like the jungle, the deserts, the ice. Absolutely brilliant. Hats off to this guy. I'd love to meet him one day. I wonder if we could get him on the channel and have a really good chat. It'd be hours, but it'd be absolutely brilliant. Discussing the whole journey, like from Chile all the way to the UK, what he would have seen, what he would have experienced, like the mental issues, like how do you keep yourself motivated throughout? What did he do? How did he get supplies? You know, language barriers as well. Obviously, you know, a majority of people do speak English nowadays, but he started this journey in 1998. 98. I was 8 years old. Technology, you know, the PlayStations were just coming out, and look at the graphics. Phones were just not a thing, really. We were still using home phones, you know, tapped into the landline. People were sending letters. Letters were a common way of communicating. You know, absolutely crazy. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this, so please do comment below. But thanks for watching. Go and check him out, Carl Bushby. Please give him your support. You know, he's nearly there. He's going to do it. He's made it this far, so he's not going to stop. He's now just got to decide whether he's going to swim across the English Channel or walk through the tunnel, depending on what permission he gets. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check Carl Bushby out. Maybe one day we'll be able to get him out on the channel. That'd be absolutely brilliant. This guy really is like what people should look up to. Don't worry about your celebrities. Load of rubbish. It's these types of guys that we should be looking up to. Incredible feat. Well, hats off to you, Carl, and see you all soon.